Alright, guys. So, yeah, welcome back and stuff. Alright, so for this weekday character creation video on the KCCR, we're going to be going over DCUO, DC Universe Online. This game has been out for a while now. Shit, I can't remember the release date, and I really don't need to, as that's not what my videos are about. Anywho, it's pretty much exactly what it sounds like it is. You're put into the shoes of a hero or a villain within the DC universe. Now, as I'm not a comic buff, I can't give you the time frames, and to be honest, I don't think the DCUO stuff is canon in terms of it having a legitimate storyline following comics or anything like that. It has a nice story within and of itself, though. So let's get started. Now, you'll notice I'm on world selection here. It's because if I were to hit back, you'd see all my characters, and once again, I'm not trying to sit here and, you know, be that guy who's like, okay, let's start here so you can see just how much of a badass I fucking am. No, it's mainly because I really am not trying to gloat. At the same time, I don't really want all my character names. I feel it's safer for hacking purposes, yada yada, that stuff's not visible. That, and I don't want to be spammed. Okay, so you're brought here when you hit create character, you're brought immediately to this. Now, back when DCUO was first released, and yes, if you notice, I'm playing with a controller. The controller support's pretty good. Interface is clunky, but whatever. There was multiple servers, but be it due to lack of people or whatever the reasons are, they merged them into Ultimate servers, I believe is what they tried to call them, yeah? So you just have one huge PvE server and one huge PvP server. So we're going to go ahead and click on PvE because the PvP server is full of dick. I'm going to let you guys watch this.
In my long war against Superman, while his powers were drained from constant battle, sending him into space to recharge from the Earth's yellow sun, I struck. But my obsession had blinded me to the real threat, to Earth's true enemy.
Pick on someone your own size!
Cyborg, concentrate fire on Luthor while I call down some artillery.
Cyborg looks like a badass.
Deathstroke, time for you to join the party.
Come on! We've got lots of murdering to do.
Something?
Greetings, sister.
Nobody kills the bat but me!
Call him! Bring him to me!
Yes.
Madman! Adam! You don't deserve to live! Diana. Beaten by a mere man. No. You've lost everything. No. I beat you. Me! Lex Luthor!
Brainiac had returned. For years, he'd been stealing the powers of Earth's protectors, but we were too busy fighting amongst ourselves to see the danger. With you three dead, Brainiac quickly eliminated the remaining heroes. The lucky ones died fighting. Finally, I alone survived. A rat in the walls of the Brainiac construct. I have traveled through time to warn you. This is my past, but your future. And it means the end of humanity, so together, we must change it.
What have you done, Luthor?
Given you a fighting chance.
He's lying. It's some kind of trap. Why should we trust you?
Because if you don't, Earth is doomed. I've stolen Brainiac's exobytes and released them into Earth's atmosphere. They hold the powers stolen from the heroes and villains of my time, and will bestow them on anyone they contact. The exobytes will create a new breed of superhuman to fight Brainiac's invasion. You must teach them to use their new abilities, for they must be on the front line in the coming battle, or my grim future will become your own. I only hope I am not too late, for I will not be here to see this new future. My work is not yet done. I must leave this Earth to you. Claim the exobytes and take destiny into your own hands.
Targets identified.
All right.
Select gender and body type.
We're back. Now, as I said, I don't know how canon that is in terms of comics or cartoons or whatever, because I've never been a comic book reading person. It's just not who I am. But it's got a nice little story on its own. I'm not a Superman fan. I fucking hate the guy, but he looked pretty cool there. Oh well, I guess Lex, when he finally beat the fucking alien. Anyways, so we're right here. And now I'm going to click through this stuff and explain it, but understand every time I click, I believe if... No, only when I click. You're going to hear that lady that's like, blah, blah, data. I understand she's pretty loud. I didn't anticipate that when I started the video. Yeah, so I'll be turning down the game volume post-editing, so my saying this is really useless. Alright, guys. So, male, female is your options here. It doesn't have any effect on stats or anything like that, so you can choose whoever the goddamn hell, whatever you want to be. I'm going to choose female for the sake of this, because, you know, I have a bunch of dudes. So, next you're brought to sizes. Now, you don't have a body slider or anything like Guild Wars or Ion or whatever, but you have 3 types. I'm just gonna browse through them fast real quick. Go to the bottom, and it's like, you notice the breast size is slightly smaller, and then you have essentially small, medium, large of that type. And then you've got the medium here. Anything above Sprite is gonna have boobs that are, well, comic female boobs, and they're all huge and shit. But yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and click fucking this, because I can. This also doesn't really give you a scale in terms of how tall or short your character actually is. This is fairly short. This is like, I don't know, teenager short. Yeah, so we'll click medium. Next we're about this.
Select exobyte download type. Create a custom configuration or imprint using data from an Earth hero or villain.
Holy shit, shut up. Okay, yeah, so she's loud as fuck. You've got custom, which I'm gonna go ahead and click, but you've got inspired by. I'll click this real quick.
Select a hero or villain
Shut
morality.
the fuck up, bitch. And you click on either of these, and you've got a whole bunch here, so, like, let's just go all the way down to fucking Terra. And these are just presets. You can still edit them, but this'll, if you notice over on the right here, and I literally just tapped on my monitor as if you can actually fucking see that. Some of these power sets, Earth, electricity, the light, lantern rings, or, well, yeah, they're both lanterns, I guess. Those are all DLC that you have to purchase, but I'm not going to bother going to that because it doesn't really fucking matter. Okay, so you see this. It gives you some stuff on the right there. It chooses your movement speed, your combat weapon, which I'll get into. So we're going to go ahead and click back and go to custom, which is what people should do.
Select a hero or villain morality.
Yeah, okay. As she said, you choose either if you want to be a hero or a villain. Seriously, fuck heroes, we're gonna go villain. La la la.
Select a personality to determine social behavior.
This is like your stance. So there's a few here that people may or may not be interested in. They, once again, have no impact on your combat prowess or anything like that. It's purely aesthetic at best, but it really helps out, and I don't believe it affects your combat animation, so we'll just click fucking powerful.
Select a mentor as a guidelines for data application.
Alright, so villains have the Joker, Lex Luthor, or Circe. Heroes have Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. My god, I hope my mic audio is coming through. Jesus Christ. This also affects how you got your powers. Now you'll notice it's like blah blah magic. That doesn't necessarily mean you have to use magic. You'll choose your power set next and your weapons. It just means how your origin came about, the type of exobytes you had. So it could have been like the exobyte came from a guy who fucking studied spell tomes, and Luthor's is mutagen, so like natural Superman is one, meta is what they call them, yeah. So I guess the X-Men are all, I know that's not DC, but whatever, the X-Men are all the meta. We got Joker, which is, it's tech, so science or whatever, so we're gonna go just click Joker for the shit of it.
Select power group from available exobyte data to determine combat role.
Now, like she said, this is where you choose your power type. Your power type is, well, you can't change this in the game, so you're going to want to choose the one that you find yourself most interested in. Like I said, Earth and Electricity, I'm sorry, are both DLC power types, and so is Light. But everything else is not. And in terms of Light, it's the Lantern Corps. If you're a villain, you're a Yellow Lantern, the Sinestro Corps, and if you're a hero, you're obviously a Green Lantern. So, yeah. All of these are different. Sorcery and Nature are healing sets, but understand how DCUO works. You have two roles you can swap into depending on what power set you choose. You have, everybody has a DPS role. In this role you have a boosted amount of damage, I believe you do, and your powers contribute to that. They give you a small time buff, which every time you use a power, the more damage you do, etc. And then certain roles, certain power sets have a different role. For example, Sorcerer and Nature have Healer, Mental, and Light, and Gadgets have the fuck is it called? Controllers. Electricity is also a healer. Fire, ice, or tanks. Ice is your typical take less damage tank. Fire is a self-healing tank, so the more damage you do, it's like vampiric abilities, yeah. And then you've got Earth, which is I don't remember. I think it's tank as well. I have Earth, so we're just gonna click it.
Select movement mode.
Next is your movement power: flight, acrobatics, and super speed. All three of these are nice in their own right, and they really feel like what they are in terms of the realm that you'll be in. Flight is what I choose because I'm fucking lazy. It's the slowest of the movement speeds, but it's the easiest to use. You just fly. Like, that's it. Every movement power has a ability that you can take with some skill points that allows you to enhance the speed. For example, flight, you become supersonic. You fly faster. It's really simple. Acrobatics, in and of itself, is, well, acrobatics. Batman would use acrobatics, Catwoman, you know, nimble, natural stuff. But acrobatics is, its enhancement is rocket flight, I believe. If you don't have anything on your back, like a cape or whatever, it essentially just lets you go through the air. Now, at that point, when you acquire that, you become faster than flight. Pre that movement, I believe it's level 11, you can unlock that. Might be 10? I don't remember. You would be slower because you consistently go at a vertical pace downwards, but... I'm sorry, a diagonal pace downwards, but yeah. Once you get rocket, and I realize I'm saying in this video a lot, it's because the audio of the game's fucking with my brain. Either way, you're able to go straight and upwards. Super speed? When I first bought this game, when it like first came out, I pre-ordered the fuck out of it. I made my character with super speed because absolutely, man, it's super fucking speed. How can you not want that? Well... it turns out super speed really isn't as good as it should be. Maybe it's just me. Think, everybody who wants some nostalgia, think City of Villains real quick, or City of Heroes, or COX, whatever you want to call it. Super speed, when you had it activated, you had a semi-form of stealth. Now, if you stopped right next to a guy, eventually he'd see you, depending on how high, whatever, and you might get shot, but sometimes you wouldn't. In DCUO, it's not the same. Sure, you are fast as fuck, and you can super jump 2 per se. You run up a building, launch off the edge at the right angle, you can shoot through there, but whatever. And when you acquire the level 10 or whatever movement enhancement, it essentially makes you supersonic speed. I believe it's the speed force. You activate that, you go real fucking fast. The problem with super speed, though, same with acrobatics, but acrobatics has a lot more vertical and sky-based travel, so it's not a problem for them. Is same with flight. Is super speed. If you get shot, you stop. Like when you engage in combat, your movement powers come to a crawl, and I mean a crawl. You're slower than you would be without the fucking movement power on. And in places like Gotham, it's awful. It's fucking awful. And no, I'm sorry, even though this doesn't make sense, if you have the light force fucking super speed, you're still slower than bullets, because that's not cool. Whatever. So we're gonna click that.
Select weapon specialties from available data.
Alright. Now, the best part of DCUO is its weapon, well, not is its weapon choices. You have a whole lot here to choose from. I don't have shields downloaded, but that is an option. It's pretty cool in and of itself. You can actually learn all of these. So what you choose right here at character creation essentially is just going to give you 1 free point to start in any of these weapon styles. So generally speaking, just choose the one you think you would like the most of and you get a free point in it. But eventually, as you collect feats throughout the game, which consist of going to certain locations, exploring and running into the heroes or villains in the overworld, the canon heroes like Batman, you'll see them for like a second, hit them or whatever, they'll throw a smoke bomb at you and leave. And shit like that. Gathering styles, which I'll get into in a sec, will unlock them as you get feat points. Every 100 gives you a skill point, which you put in the trees that each of these have, as well as your movement powers tree. So we'll just click both for now.
Display exabyte download summary. Appearance options now available. Modify any category as desired. Accept download when ready.
Jesus Christ, she talks a lot. This is where you can double check your stuff and go over stuff. So like build, sprite, medium. But if you want to change certain things, you click on custom here. And this is where you can like add your colors. We'll do that in a sec. You go to body. This is where you change all your stuff. There is a whole lot of options. I'm just gonna scroll down, even if some don't res, just to give you a general idea of how much. Let's make sure we're at the top. And then there's even more than that in the game. So yeah, there's a whole lot here. Hair, let's do the same, go all the way up to the top here. Alright, that's freckles, that's awful. Anyways, and no, it's not that my computer's bad and not resing this stuff, it's that when you go through them fast they don't res because of the engine that they use to do this stuff. Either way, so you've got a lot of hairstyles here. Some of them don't make sense, like whatever the fuck that is. And there's more that you can unlock via a bunch of different stuff. We'll click that because I don't know what that is. Gear's where you can change your costume. Now, costume changing and gear appearance is, and I'm really not going to show you everything here because there's a whole lot more here than there is skins and hair. There's way more in game. You unlock via achievements, you can buy in the cash up, whatever. DCUO's, where it shines is the ability to mix and match your outfits and weapon styles. So say, once again, I'm going to use World of Warcraft. You have that epic endgame rating armor that you don't like because it just looks ugly, but its stats are the best. Well, if you have that in DCUO, you can wear anything, like you could wear that right there that she's in because you have a style tab, whereupon you click that thing, let's say chest, and it'll give you a drop down. Every item that has a style on it, you'll equip, and as you equip that, if you do not have the style, it will unlock the style in your style tab. And you can click on that drop down and choose it to replace the current appearance of the new item you put on. You can also lock them and manually change the colors of them, etc. You can do this with weapons as well. Hand-to-hand, brawling, martial arts, and stuff like that, you can take off your weapons altogether and be like that and just have your hands, which is what I like, because I don't like having katars and whatever brawling uses, like big fucking boxing glove metal, I don't know. It's a nifty thing, and there's a lot of outfits, and I mean, there's a lot. But you have your typical head stuff. Let's let that res them all. Takes a bit because the game is, yeah, where it's like helmets and there's some, you know, your masks and shit like that, and yeah, so faces, which is glasses, and you have like emissive eyes down here, and you can edit the color of those and stuff. You've got your emblems, which, yeah, emblems, they go, depending on the top or bottom or whatever you have, they might go on your center of your chest there, on the side, or some of them go on the back. Like I said, the emblem moves depending on your chest piece, so I can't really tell you much about that. Chest is, it's a lot of stuff. Anything from trench coats to tank tops to, like, nothing. There's a whole lot of tight stuff, because after all, this is the DC realm, and there's a lot of, you know, all superheroes wear spandex, apparently. Not that I'm complaining for fine-ass bitches, you know what I'm saying? No? Okay. Back is your cape and or jetpacks and backpacks and stuff like that. You know, pretty necessary stuff. According to the Incredibles, you don't wear capes, though. Hands, gloves, waist is your belt, legs, feet. You get the general idea. I don't need to show you each piece. There's a whole lot, though, and the ability to mix and match really makes it, gives you the options to feel unique amongst the other heroes and villains. There's very, very little chance that you're going to run into a carbon copy of yourself. And for somebody like me, I like this. Sure, it may not have a body slider, but it still has enough that I'm like, okay, well, I guess I can work with this. Now, if you're the kind of person that, for example, say you don't like the way the female body is right there, or whatever, with the options you have, then I don't know what to tell you. You're shit out of luck, I guess. But for those who are like, well, okay, we can deal with certain things, yeah, there you go. At least they give you an option for the female body to have smaller breast sizes, because really. And the men have your typical, like, but then they have a not so shape as well. Now, let's go back. Colors is the part that a lot of people were getting confused on. We're not going to do this. We're just going to click on gear. and palette. Alright, notice you have 3 things here. Well, the way this works is if you pay attention to the DC realm, and Marvel does it too, pretty much every superhero and villain just has 3 colors. That's what it is. So that's what you intended to do here. You you can change, I don't know, put this as fucking this and go up here and change this to fucking this. There you go, and this can be whatever, and fucking, yeah, you get the general idea. You can change these on each manual piece of armor, though, in the same Styles tab that you would change the drop down and the appearance of your chest, legs, gloves, head, whatever. Well, I'm on a controller, so I don't really remember what it is for a keyboard, and I've never actually played this game with a keyboard, so I can't actually tell you. But triangle if you're using a control pad, which is, I enjoy it more in this game. Mouse and keyboard is not. Yeah. So you've got that, and then you can, like I said, you can customize it right here as well, but depending on the outfit you choose, some stuff may reverse the colors, like some trench coats, you may have like an under part white and the coat itself black. You may get another coat, which changes the coat white and the under part black, just because the tabs, if you will, have been switched. So if you're going to do it like this, it's a little more complicated. I would suggest waiting to do specific pieces until you're actually in the game. And stick with the palette. Like, if you're me, you pretty much just have black and white or black and orange, because really Halloween or GTFO. But some people will do whatever, pinks and greens and all that shit. So you can change your skin color from, like, fucking, I mean, we're gonna pretend that's not a hate crime, but yeah, I mean, you can really change it. And depending on the skin you chose, it might, I don't know, it might be different. Like, I have a galactic skin, whatever, it's a cash up skin. You can change your hair here as well, it's pretty good. Your eyes, if you have emissive eyes, which she doesn't have, but it changes them. If you have emissive eyes, it'll change the glow and stuff like that. Then you've got makeup. Makeup isn't necessarily makeup, like lipstick and shit like that. It can also mean, for some skins, it could be a hue, or colors of wraps, if your skin has wraps on it. If you're a fucking furry, it'll be the color of your fur, whatever. So it's got a lot of options there to make yourself stand out in the realm of heroes and shit. Mind you, you're gonna see a lot of blacks and whites, because everybody does that. Once again, you're brought here, and you can double check all your stuff, and if you want to change it, just click it, choose that, and you're good to go. You can do that. Like I said, Earth is a DLC, so that's just to go back on weapons.
Select weapon specialties from available data.
Sorry, letting her finish. Some of these are better than others for certain things. Some of them do a lot of damage. For example, rifle is notorious for being tier number 1 in terms of the ability to dish out damage. It does a fuck ton of damage, followed by two-handed and brawling and stuff like that. But some are better for other things. Like Hand Blaster does very little damage. It really is the weakest of all the weapons in terms of overall DPS, but it has an ability where you pretty much use Force Lightning, and it hits a bunch of times for small damage, but what that does is it builds your power, which is essentially your mana bar, which is necessary to use power. So as a healer, obviously you want that. But let's say Rifle and Two-Handed don't necessarily build power, because power building is based on the amount of hits you get in a small amount of time. So the more hits you can acquire, doesn't matter the damage, you can launch powers which may do damage, you know. So a tank could use Rifle, or anybody in the DPS role could use Rifle. If you're just going sheer damage, then by all means, you can do whatever you want. But don't take that as a, well, if you want to do DPS, you have to use Rifle or you can't do shit. No, that's not true. Bow is, without a doubt, one of the most popular weapons, and I don't know why, because it's not up there in DPS, and I know there's 100 people that are going to rage at me for saying that, but I'm sorry, fuck you, it's true, it's not. Rifle is better than it, Two-Handed does more damage, Brawling is better, dual-wielding pistols can actually do a lot of damage, but Bow does hit a lot, so you can build power. If that's the case, I can understand. Another cool thing is, depending on the power set you chose, your weapon effects will be different. For example, martial arts, that hit right there, there's moves that were like, you'll punch the ground and make an AoE. I use sorcery, so you'll make this huge fucking what do you want to call it? I don't know, Enochian sigil, I guess, from, you know, on the ground, and it'll pulse magic with hard light. If I use pistols on my like lantern and I shoot yellow beams. So your effects, your weapons are all affected by the power set you chose. And once again, you can learn all the weapons, and you can respec in the game. You can respec your weapons and skill points, and you'll gain your power points back that you put in, but you cannot actually change your power set without purchasing a power respec token from the cash shop. So, like I said, when you're on character creation, if you're the kind of person who doesn't want a million alts, then go over the powers and make sure you chose one you like. And keep in mind that you have the ability to do DPS roll on anybody, any power set, and you'll do fine. Lanterns generally do the most damage because they're ridiculous, but everybody, healers, nature, and sorcery can do good damage too, and sorcery has a lot of AoE. Each power set, though, has two power rolls in it. No, the rolls are healer and damage. Has two trees, I guess, talent trees within that. For example, sorcery has what is it called? I believe it's just called sorcery, and it has summoning. Okay, and you gain 15 points because the max level is 30. You gain 15 points via leveling up for powers and 15 points for skills. Now remember, you can still gain more skill points, but you can't gain more power points, so you have to really choose which tree you want to go down. But luckily you can respec, and it's fairly cheap to do so. So that about covered. I'm trying to just run through in my head and make sure I got everything for you guys. I would really like to go in game and show you a bunch of powers, but that would require me stop and start the video, as well as hope that DX Tori decides to work well with it, and I would have to do a lot of shit like block chat, so I'm not going to do that because that would be breaching into gameplay, which I will not do unless I do a playthrough of some game. As this is an MMO, I refuse to do a playthrough on it simply because there's a lot of grinding and shit in MMOs. Now, DCUO doesn't really have that. Sure, you have your typical kill 15 of these fuckers, but it goes by real fast because you feel like a superpowered being. You just troll through shit. I mean, I went from 1 to 30 in a few hours, and that's not hard to do. Now, I understand for some people that's probably a turn-off, for others not. But I'm going to digress a second and tell you that DCUO, while it has fun PvP and a lot of the stuff is story-based, I mean, it all is, and it feels good, it's very, I'm sorry, PvE, it's very much a PvP game. Like, makes sense. You're a villain, you fight heroes. If you're not doing that, what the fuck are you doing, you know? So it makes a lot of sense, but like I said, you want to go on a PvE server because you'll actually be able to accomplish something. If you go on a PvP server, the moment you res, you're just going to get killed by a bored-ass level 30 with nothing to fucking do. But some people are into that, so to his own, I suppose. And that does about cover it. Once again, we'll go over these from top to bottom. Custom allows you to customize your hero any way you want. Even if you choose a template, and you choose, like, say, Superman, you can still customize a shit in-game. It's just going to preset your power. So I wouldn't do that if you really want customization. Gender is straightforward. This is straightforward. Yeah, there's no slider, so I can't really... I can't... You know, I want to be like, meh, but at the same time, it's fine. Villain and hero is pretty much that, and if for the random people out there, it's like, well, I want to be the guy in between, fuck that. Personality, we've got a few stances, it really, and these do affect things like your dancing and your other emotes, so but it's all aesthetic movement-based stuff, it's not too much to worry about. Mentors, other than the fact that pretty much, I just brain farted, it pretty much dictates how you got your powers, what the exabyte was that gave it to you. Your mentor will be helping you throughout the game. Now, that doesn't mean, oh, well, I started with Lex, I won't be able to do anything with the Joker. No, you'll still do stuff with him, and there's still all the other people in the game. Bane, Killer Croc, fucking Deathstroke, all these fucking people are in the game they'll be doing stuff with. It's just these specific 3 are your mentors. Yeah, I mean, League of Shadows type shit, I don't know. Your power is straightforward. Remember, that's the one you got to be careful on. Weapon, you can really choose whatever the hell you want there. Movement power is once again up to you. Flight for the lazy person. Acrobatics for the person who is not lazy. And super speed, I'm going to be honest here, I don't recommend it just because on paper you're like, oh fuck super speed, but the moment you get hit by a bullet you're going to be like, I fucking hate this. Yeah, that about covers it. I give let me just double check. I give DCUO. I give it an 82. I'm sorry. It was 72 out of 100. I was looking at my Guild Wars page for some reason. Give it a 72 out of 100. It's got enough that anybody could make a character that you will not see a carbon copy of, which in character creation is pretty much the only thing you really want. But at the same time, you want to enjoy the character you made. So if it's just, oh, I only got to choose a weapon, then you're not really going to enjoy it. This allows you enough character creation, enough options, and a progression to really make a hero and or a villain respectively that you could enjoy playing as. And then of course you can make another character if you feel so inclined. The ability to use multiple weapons really helps out. It makes it a little less, well, I chose sword so I can't use that cool bow. No, once you put 1 point in any of the weapons, you unlock the ability to acquire weapons for that weapon style. So in the end, you can totally do that, and you can learn a lot. Each weapon will have stats in it, some passives that may not be in all of them, like Restoration is good for healers. It enhances your ability to heal. So, some weapons, like I don't believe Rifle actually has it in it, so meh. But like I said, once more, and I'm repeating myself a bunch, just trying to stress that it's one of the better things I think I've seen in a video game. Be it single player or MMO, because everybody tries to tunnel you down one path, and like, well, I'm sorry, you chose to use guns, so you don't know how to swing a sword at all, you just don't know. Well, DCUO doesn't force that upon you. Your powers, yes, because that's a manifestation of who you are, but your weapons, anybody can pick up a gun and learn how to use a fucking gun, right? It makes sense. So DCUO, everybody, DC Universe Online, it's a MMO, it is hosted by fucking EA, I believe. Yeah, so give it a look. May or may not like it. If you're into superhero stuff, I believe you might enjoy it for a bit. It may be one of those games you come and go back. You know, you leave and go back to. Very much is that for me. I can't say the game's bad, but I can definitely say there's been better out there. But once again, the character creation, sorry, for enunciation problems. It is, after all, bullshit o'clock in the morning. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. And you got a lot of options. So, you should give it a look. I have no idea what the price is, but I have a box. So once again, I bought it when it first came out. But I believe you can download it on the EA website or whatever. So, yeah, I guess that about covers it. This isn't going to be one of my best videos, I'm aware. Please hit all the dislike. Till next time, guys.